Okay. Okay, so before we start, let me just check if this is streaming. Yes, it is. Hey, everyone. How are you? How is everybody? Welcome. Okay, so before we start, let me just check if this is... It's Friday afternoon here in Canada. Yes, it is. Hey, everyone. How are you? How is everybody? Oh, something is... Welcome. Before we start, let me just check if this is... let me see. It's Friday afternoon here in Canada. Hey, everyone. Just... How are you? Okay. Okay. I had the Facebook talking at the same time. Okay. Oh, here I am. Okay. So hello and welcome. How is everybody today? It's Friday here in Canada and precisely here in Montreal. This is your first weekly Ask Me Anything. It's great to be here and to have you with me. But I'd like to know if you are here with me, okay? Make me #live in the comment below and let me know where you're from, okay? I like to know with whom I'm connecting, and I'd like to know that I'm not the only one showing up and speaking to myself, okay? And also, if you're watching the replay, please put #replay in the comment section. So today we got, I think, a couple of questions. They came through. I'm going to talk about a topic that many of you health professionals and even others, entrepreneurs and other people, to know more about, okay, which is burnout and compassion fatigue. As a health professional, you may have experienced burnout or heard of it in the workplace, sometimes experienced it through other people at work, and you are eager to learn how to prevent it or to keep it away, okay? So we know that your work puts you in front of suffering and trauma. You need to learn how to not involve yourself emotionally and end up burnt out like many of your coworkers or colleagues. We see that in the health industry. So the first question asked is, how can we prevent compassion fatigue and burnout in our organization when we want to change in our practice? Any ideas? They're asking any ideas from me. So very interesting question that is relevant to small practices and big organizations like big clinics and hospitals. And the best approach to preventing burnout and compassion fatigue is to create an informed environment. Health professionals, as the staff, need to be heard, understood, valued, and appreciated by coworkers and management. This approach allows the staff to discuss burnout or compassion fatigue more than any other problem and to do it with confidence. Health professionals need to feel free to have honest conversations about their well-being and to make sure that self-care is not negotiable. And management has to answer back to that and listen carefully. This is very important because management needs to encourage more self-care and provide more resources, because health professionals and staff need to feel really free and heard. And you want to really prevent burnout and compassion fatigue in the workplace. Now, self-care is what's important, like offer reflective, information and have supervisors' duty, like to check on the persons that have the issue and how they're doing outside of their responsibilities at work. Keep the connection with the person and never let them deal with the trauma on their own. Teach empathy and how important it is in day-to-day work. Maybe have some free mindset counseling on site for staff. Have some healthy activities organized at work. Maybe organize a schedule to enable the staff to have at least 30 minutes for lunchtime. Bring specialists to teach meditation or mindfulness to staff. Create a safe space at work where staff can talk about their worries without fear of being judged, but mostly without fear of repercussions. The main idea here is to have a safe environment where discussing burnout is normal and natural. An environment that encourages staff to talk and express their fear and worries. It is very important and essential. Plus, a major shift in the perception that permeates staff to be vulnerable and show their distress. I mean, health professionals are human beings, not Wonder Men and Wonder Women. They have feelings, and you have feelings and issues like anybody else in any other workplace. Whatever was taught at school is still true, that you contribute to a better world by easing the pain, saving lives, and accompanying patients in their struggles against disease. But at the same time, you are exposed to huge suffering and trauma. You're surrounded by a lot of pain. It is easy in such an environment to involve yourself in your patient's emotional state of being. And it ends up happening to many of you if you don't pay attention to the signs, or if you don't take the time to breathe and fill your cup. You keep emptying your cup at work without taking the pause to fill it again. You keep giving and caring. You drain your energy, and one day you wake up just like that, feeling burnt out or suffering compassion fatigue. This situation hurts you, your patients, and of course your organization. You must know by now that burnout impacts turnover at work, which became a big challenge for human resources. Turnover, as I said, impacts the quality of client care and the financial situation of an organization, whether it's a small practice or a clinic or a hospital. And more importantly, burnout is contagious. What I mean by that is that if you have it, it spreads to others. And what I advise you to do is to share information on this particular trauma as much as you can in the workplace. Whether you are the supervisor, the manager, make the administration understand, okay, that this issue is costing them money. Show them data. Be convincing. And if you have the knowledge, educate them on how secondary trauma is killing the industry. I don't know if you have any questions on this. I can check Facebook because I don't see them. Okay, but anyway, where is the live here? Still streaming, yes. Okay, so okay, good. Anyway, I will keep going because we have other things to discuss. So I was talking about the organization and the management, how you can show them data. And you know what? Be convincing. Be convincing because it's important that they listen to you. Okay. And if you have the knowledge, educate them on how secondary trauma is killing the industry. If not, organize information sessions and bring experts to educate everybody on how to prevent burnout based on staff self-care. You need to create a sense of urgency and implement a system. It's a kind of teamwork. I hope I answered your question, but if you need more information, please feel free to connect in private, okay, so we can discuss it. Now we go to the second question. Someone says, I heard you talk about secondary trauma. Can you emphasize on this? Secondary trauma happens when someone is exposed to the first-hand traumatic experience of someone else, and it can happen suddenly, while vicarious trauma represents a shift in the health provider's attitude and worldview after a prolonged exposure to patient suffering. When you help people as a health professional, you have direct contact with their lives. And your compassion for them can affect you in negative ways, also positive ways. We call it compassion satisfaction. But today, I am answering your question concerning the negative impact, which is secondary trauma. And the signs will range from fatigue, irritability, reduced productivity, feelings of hopelessness, anger, despair, sadness, anxiety, or sometimes avoidance of people or activities. Isolation, some people isolate themselves. It creates emotional exhaustion and a lack of accomplishments. I mean, you feel as if nothing is important anymore. You become detached, so detached that you don't care about others anymore. You lose empathy and sensitivity. And that's what you need for your patients. Sometimes you imagine that you're experiencing the event again and again, and that triggers more anxiety and stress. Most of the time, you are so busy providing care that you don't realize you are impacted by your patient's stories. And one day, suddenly like that, you wake up and you're totally exhausted. But there is always a way to prevent secondary trauma when you're aware that you can be exposed to it. When you know you are a human being and that other people's emotions can get to you. At this moment, you pause and learn how to protect yourself. First of all, do not deny your feelings and do not avoid the subject. You can make it more difficult when you do that to manage, and you can extend the healing process. What you can do to cope with secondary trauma is to take your time and create new habits to change the situation. And as I said in my previous videos, you can exercise, eat healthy food, which is great. It gives you energy. Meditate to connect to your inner self, just little bit by little, few minutes a day. Take few minutes at work to pause and breathe. Just breathe. Focus on positive events, things that make you happy. Forget yesterday and all the negative feelings. Start your day with gratitude and new thoughts, the thoughts that will align with what you want during that day. And express yourself without fear or restraint. Ask for help and guidance. Be honest with yourself and others. There are some coping mechanisms you can use, but if you need guidance or more information, feel free to connect. You can send me a DM for more privacy. And if you enjoyed this video, put a like so that I am aware, and I invite you to follow the Ask Me Anything every Friday at 4 p.m. EST to ask your questions, and I will be happy to answer them for more clarity and understanding. You can also follow my Tuesday podcast, Claim Your Freedom, where I discuss different issues that concern you as a health professional or an entrepreneur. So I will see you Monday in my new video series on how to create a work-life balance as a health professional. Till then, have a great weekend. Bye for now.